MMF or SACCOS, what is the best to invest? That is the video I'm going to share with you. You guys have been asking me comment on the comment section, and that's why I always encourage you. Please, if you have a question, leave it on the comment section. I try the best I can to make a video out of that. Today we are discussing about MMF, okay, and SACCOS, and we are trying to see which one is the best for you to invest. Okay, now, by the way, if you're watching me for the first time and you have never subscribed, go ahead and subscribe on this YouTube channel, because I make this kind of videos each and every day, and leave a comment on the comment section. Let's get on the business. Now, between these two investments, which one would you pick if I was you? Now, to answer this question in a very simplistic manner without beating around the bush, it depends on what you are looking when you're investing on these two. Anyone who is investing on a money market fund is looking for something we call liquidity. Are we together? Liquidity, in other words, simply means that you can access your money at any given time. You can also top up at any given time. Let's say you are starting up and you want to do something, or you want to invest on something that you can access your money anytime. You don't want to tie down your capital. And also you're looking for something that you can top up at any given moment. Are we together? Money market fund offers you accessibility to your money. Now, let's say you have a problem when it comes to discipline, when it comes to withdrawing your money. Therefore, money market fund may not really be the best for you to go with. Now, anyone who is investing on SACCOS is someone who is looking for a loan in future. A loan in future, because these ones don't give loans. Money market funds don't give loans, but SACCOS, they give loans. So if you're looking for somewhere where you can save or where you can invest, you can be entitled to be getting dividends each and every month, or rather each and every year, and of course you're looking forward to one day acquire a loan, then this is the best investment that you can pick instead of this. Let me explain. In Kenya, SACCOS are not that new things. They are popular and they're synonymous with most of the Kenyans. So what happens is that when you save in a SACCO, they tell you can give you 3 times, 4 times, whatever the times it is, okay? Provided you are able to prove that you have the guarantors to guarantee you to actually get that particular loan for you to be able to build. I know a lot of people who have built wealth using SACCOS. First of all, SACCOS offer what we call, I don't want to use the term cheaper, but allow me to use it cheaper compared to the bank's one, cheaper loans. So SACCOS, they usually give cheaper loans, you know, for example, around say 12%. Right now we can talk maybe sometimes 11%. And if you go to the banks, you can even get at 14%. And sometimes it was even at 18%. So you realize that if you go the SACCOS way, therefore you can be able to get a loan. So now what happens is that money market fund don't give loans. Money market fund usually give what we call the interest. And the interest, it is paid monthly. Are we together? So perhaps let's say you want to invest some cash where you can be able to get your returns each and every month, then money market fund is the one that you go for. With the SACCOS, this is where you usually get what we call dividends. Okay, your money is not accessed. Your money is not accessed easily. Therefore, if you have a problem with withdrawing your money and you have a problem with financial management, that you're this kind of a guy who has a problem with the discipline with your cash, then if you're looking for something where you can just fix your cash and then you cannot withdraw it, then SACCOS is the best that you can usually go for. But I usually give people disclaimer here. If you want to go the SACCOS way, remember one thing, you can't withdraw your money. People usually ask me, how do I withdraw my money from a SACCO? Listen, you don't use the term withdraw. From the SACCOS, you already bought shares of that particular SACCO. The only way you can do to get cash back your cash is to sell the shares that you own in that particular SACCO. And for you to sell those shares, you have to find somebody who is within the SACCO who can be able to purchase those shares. So once you sell those shares, that is the only time you can get the money. But when you invest in a money market fund, you don't need to look for anybody. You can withdraw at any given time. These ones, you have to inform them in a period of 2 months. You have to write them a letter notifying them that you want to withdraw from the SACCO and you want your money back, or in other words, you would like to sell your shares to get your money back. So you have to inform them in a period of 2 months. For these ones, you just do it instantly. You can just wake up in the morning and initiate a withdrawal and you get your cash. So it is good to understand the nature of these two investments. Remember, the topic of this video is which one is the best? Well, based on what? best based on what you want. If you're looking for something that can give you a loan, then that is the area you go. If you're looking for something that you can actually invest your cash, where you can be getting some, some dividend, or rather some interest as you build yourself to explore other investments in future, because ultimately MMF and SACCOS are the entry levels of investments. Never forget that. MMF and SACCOS are the entry levels of investments. We have higher investments that can fetch you a little bit of higher returns, as we're gonna explore in later videos. That's why I told you, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't lose any track when I upload a new good video. Now, basically, that is the line, that is the parallel line that I've actually drawn between the SACCOS and the money market funds. So what happens, if you ask me, I would say if you can have both, that will be the most amazing thing. Why? You have some cash. For example, I usually tell people, you see, you cannot take your cash, let's say this is an emergency fund, you can't put it in a SACCO. That is not recommended. Why? Because the initiation of a withdrawal of money from a SACCO, unless maybe provided maybe you put it in a, see, you SACCO usually have like 3 accounts. We have an account called the FOSA, the front office activity, and we have the BOSA, that is the back office activity, and of course we have the share capital. So it depends. For example, if you put your money on FOSA, front office activity, that's like any other bank account. Usually they say it fetches you around 4%, 2 or 3 or something like that. Well, I may not be able to justify that unless you put your emergency fund there. But the most recommended account, or the most recommended investment opportunity, or where you can put your emergency fund, is a money market fund. Why? Because of its liquidity in nature and ease of accessibility. Therefore, you can be able to access that money at any given time. So you don't put your emergency fund whereby for you to access that cash, you need to move from place to place, you need to wait, you need, I don't know, to sign some, you don't need to all those formalities and what have you. You need to put your money somewhere, you can access it, boom, it is done. So that is the difference between these two investments. But what will be the ultimate question here, or the ultimate answer? It is to invest on both of them. Remember what I told you, this is like a boy and a girl as far as the children are concerned. And I can tell you for sure, there is no way you can be able to choose and say, hey, boys are better than girls. We are all important, they are all great, and they are all good. And the best thing you can do is to have both of them. But of course, you're having both of them with a purpose. For example, personally, I'm a multi investor. How can I say? When I say multi, I mean in terms of I've invested in different areas. And if you ask me, why, Joseph, are you on this? Because of this reason. I can substantiate why I'm on that investment. If you ask me, Joseph, why then are you on this? I can tell you the reason why I'm on that. For example, personally, and I said personally, it doesn't have to be you. Personally, I love buying shares or stocks for purposes of long term. That is where I just get my cash, throwing there, buy my shares, and I keep quiet. That's what we say. See, when I accumulate that, I usually do that for long term. When I buy those shares, I'm not necessarily chasing capital gain, neither am I chasing dividends, but I know a time will come when now I'll be concentrating on how, they are being paid in terms of dividends, the capital gains, and what have you. But for now, I'm just fattening the cow, when I guide people on how to buy shares, of which you can contact me using that number. You show them how to buy shares today, then immediately they're asking you, how do you buy? See, come on. For now, for God's sake, you've only bought shares worth 2,000, of which it is a great amount of money. I'm not trying to despise it. Personally, I started buying shares with less than 3,000. So what happens is that you keep on accumulating, slowly by slowly, you build your castle until it reaches to a point whereby, honestly speaking, if you decide to sell those shares, then you can be able to do something amazing. But when you're building, you don't think about destruction. You think about building. And when you're showing somebody how to buy shares, and then the next minute they're asking you how to sell, it's like asking you how or what kind of a diapers or what kind of whatever should I buy, and you're not even yet pregnant. So first get the kid, get the pregnancy, get the kid, then you can figure out where we can take them to school, Anyway, I know that's a weird example, but I hope my point is home. So generally, these two investments are great, but for me, if you ask me, I would say build. And the good thing with these two investments is that I told you they are the entry levels of investments. So this investment can give you that ease of building yourself, For example, money market fund gives you that ability to top up at any given time, and they aren't restrictive. When it comes to SACCOs, they are kind of restrictive, like the amount of money that you have to put it out there. But of course, at the same time, if you're looking forward into getting a loan, then you have to make sure that your credit score remains good by topping up that money each and every time, consistently, continuously, without failing, so that at least you can have a decent credit score, so that you can ultimately be able to get that particular loan that you're looking forward in future. Now, that is it. Now tell me on the comment section, between the two, which one do you have? And if you have the both, then let me know. Then from there we can be able to learn from each other, just like an iron sharpens other iron. So that is exactly how we do about it. See, I've tried to I'm trying to come up with this kind of a series whereby I'll be comparing and contrasting two investments, like investment A and B, and see which one is the best, so that at least people can be, people usually come on my inbox and asking me this kind of questions. So when you ask me this kind of a question, when you're seeking for a reliable professional guidance, this is first when I need to, you see, I need first to understand you, so that I know what journey you've embarked on, so that I can tell you, hey, you know what, based on where you are going, this particular vehicle will actually take you to that particular destination. But this one, it is good, but may not take you out there. Because I usually, try the best as I can to make sure that you don't pick something that later you'll be like, sometimes I do receive calls from people and they are, lamenting. Like, for example, a certain lady called me here. She had invested her money, money meant for school fees, on a treasury bill. And then now she was wondering, how do you withdraw the cash? I told her, no, once you put your money there, it is quote unquote gone. You can't get it unless you sell it from a secondary market, of which it's a whole of a lengthy process. And of course, it comes its own losses and what have you. So she wasn't informed. That is not exactly how we usually invest on that matter. This is Good Joseph. At all the time, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you subscribe, and if you need my services in one way or the other, that is my number. You can shoot me a text or a call, then we can proceed from there. And I want to take this opportunity to give you a very special thanks for always turning on to come and watch my videos, leaving a like on my videos, making sure that you subscribe, leaving a comment on my videos. And guess what, guys, thank you very much for that time you've been with me. And for now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.